Hi guys, my name is Rebecca Warfield and I will be your English 201 instructor for summer session 2 of summer 2014. The purpose of this video is to go over the course policy so you have an idea of what I expect from you starting day 1 of the course. I emailed this syllabus to you and it's on Blackboard, and I will be giving you a paper copy the first day so you have plenty of opportunities to look through it. And of course I'll go over the syllabus in its entirety on the first day of class too. So again, this is English 201. I am Rebecca Warfield. My office is Morton 105B. It's kind of tricky to find, but if you're in Morton Hall on the first floor, and if you go across from the vending machines, go down that little hallway. To the right, there's another little hallway right before you get to the double doors that take you to the clock tower. This hallway is 105, and so you go down there, and I'm the second office on the right. So it's kind of tricky to find. If you need me and you can't find me, just call my office or shoot me an email, and I can come meet you out in the lobby because it's kind of tucked away back here. My office hours are by appointment only for the summer. I will be here Monday through Thursday, obviously, because we have class. So I'll probably be here earlier, maybe around 10 or so, and I'll stay after class to get some work done. Probably won't be here on the weekends, maybe on Fridays. So if you need me outside of, before or after class, you should contact me and we can set up a time to meet. If for some reason you can't meet me during my office hours, you can reach me via Skype, which is rebecca.warfield1, rebecca.warfield1. I'll be logged on when I'm in my office, but if those times don't work for you, we can always arrange a time to meet on Skype too. And then, of course, there's always email, and you can email me at warfieldr@uncw.edu. Just a quick note about this. There's another Warfield on campus, and I found out maybe last semester that she was getting a lot of my emails. I did not know, and there were some complaints circulating that I didn't respond to emails ever and such, and it's actually because I wasn't getting them. So please make sure when you email me that's actually going to me, right? So it should be Warfield R. If there's a 4-digit number at the end of the email, that means it's a student, right? So warfieldr@uncw.edu. Okay. So for this course, you are going to need this textbook, The New World Reader, which is the 4th edition. I think I typed the 3rd edition on here. I'm very sorry. It is the 4th, but the library, not the library, the bookstore has the 4th edition for you. So again, you need the textbook. Of course, you'll need internet access, your UNCW email. I won't email you to your personal email address, Blackboard access, and a WordPress account. And I'll show you the WordPress account information either the first or second day of class. So don't worry about that right now. If you had a class with me before this and had a WordPress account, you are welcome to use that WordPress address for this course too. So I'm going to skip the course description and course goals. You can look at these on your own time. Just know that this is English 201. So it is the second part of a 2-part composition course that we have at UNCW. So first things first, here on page 2, the cell phone and electronics policy. Very simple. Turn your phones off before you come to class. I don't want to hear it ring, and I don't want to hear it vibrate. So make sure that your phone is just plain old off, right? Because the vibrate thing is actually even louder. If your phone vibrates on top of like $20 worth of quarters for your laundry in your bag, it's actually louder than it would be if it just rang in the first place. So just turn your phone off, right? This is a nice time to disconnect with the outside world, as difficult as that may seem. Please turn your phones off. If your phone rings in class, I will mark you absent for the day. Along those lines, do not text in my class. It is extremely rude to text when someone's talking to you. Right? I'm not teaching this stuff for my health. I'm not, asking you to do these activities for my health. We're doing this because it's important. And if you're texting, you're not paying attention and you're going to miss something that you need to know. And on top of that, it's just plain old rude, right? So let's say you came up to me and asked me a question and I responded with this. I bet my bottom dollar that you would be all over rate my professor. You would be all over my end of the semester evaluations, complaining about how rude I am because I texted when you were trying to talk to me. Well, how do you think I feel? How do you think your classmates feel? So this is a public space, right? And you should treat it with respect. So if you are caught texting in class, you will be marked absent for the day. Along the lines of electronics in class, laptops and tablets may only be used on days that are specified. There will be a number of days that you can use them, specifically when we workshop and peer review your papers. Otherwise, they cannot be used. I know that kind of sucks because they're helpful when you need to look up information, but unfortunately, there is more like Pinterest and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram stuff happening than actual work stuff happening. So no laptops, no tablets unless I tell you otherwise. If you are using your laptop or tablet without permission, you will be marked absent for the day. Now, all this getting marked absent for the day because of your phones or, computer or whatever really sucks because you were only allowed 2 absences the whole semester. On the 3rd day, you fail. So if you have to miss a day, it should really be because you need to, because you're sick or something like that, not because you were breaking policies. I understand that 2 is not very many absences, but we're only here for 16 days, right? And each class period is pretty much like 2 days, shoved into one. So please make sure you're in class every single day. Remember, on the 3rd day, you fail. Also, 2 tardies is an absence, right? You should be here and on time every single day. It is very rare that I start class late, so I suggest that you be there, 5 or 10 minutes before class starts. So we start at 12:30, so you should be there at 12:20, 12:25 to get your stuff together, use the restroom, get a drink, whatever it is that you need to do. All right, so 2 days or 2 absences and 2 tardies is an absence. On the 3rd page, you'll see a note here also that being physically present does not constitute satisfactory attendance. So if you're sleeping, if you're doing work for another class, if you're texting, if you're talking all the time, or something like that, you will be marked absent, right? So being present, being present means being on time. It means being participatory. It means being engaged. Right, so you actually have to be in class and you have to be doing something, right? It's not enough just to sit in class and breathe, like you have to work. Also, a note on here that I will not respond to any email that asks what was missed in a class that you missed, what work we did in a class that you missed. You need to make sure you have the contact information of a classmate to get that information, and I will give you time on the 1st day to share your contact information so you have some people to connect with if you are absent. All right, so on the next part here is how to contact your instructor. So again, face-to-face, you can always contact me, before, after class, or during class, or whatever. Again, Skype and then email. If you email me, I do not expect your emails to be perfect, right? They don't need to be like overly sophisticated or something like that, but they do need to be professional. And so that means you need 3 parts to an email. You need a salutation, a body, and a closing. So the salutation is where you address the person you're sending the email to. So you could say, "Hi, Miss Warfield, dear Miss Warfield, hey, Miss Warfield," or just Miss Warfield, right? But you have to acknowledge that the person has a name, right? Then, of course, the body of the email, and then you sign it. So you could say, "Sincerely, your name. Thanks, your name. Have a great day, your name." Or you could just put your name. I just put my initials. That's fine too, right? But you have to acknowledge that you also have a name. So salutation, body, and closing. If you do not use all 3 of those parts in your email, I will ask you one time to resend the email using proper email etiquette. After that, if you send me another email throughout the semester without those parts, I will not respond. This is good practice for the professional world. This is just how things work. When you graduate and you are in your job, you have to, have professional email etiquette. So it's good to get the practice now. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Typos happen. I understand that. I'm like the queen of typos. I make typos all the time. Smileys are fine. I like smileys. They're great. You can use all that stuff too. I'm really picky about the citation, the body, and the closing. Another note here about emails. So this is on the next page, right above course requirements. I'm going to read this to you straight from the document. If you find that you are unhappy with one of your grades or have other issues or complaints, I advise that you wait a few hours to email me to collect your thoughts and assess the situation. Any email that is sent with disrespectful language will automatically be sent to the Dean of Students, and I will request for a formal report on your academic record. At no time will I tolerate unprofessional communication. So in other words, if you're upset, that's fine. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like your grades, right? Whatever it is, that's okay, right? It's fine to be upset. How you approach a situation matters. If you email me and you're calling me names, or if you're using disrespectful language, or you're threatening me, I will send you to the Dean of Students immediately. I will not tolerate that. If you're unhappy, I advise that you just chill for a few hours or for 24 hours, and then you email me in a professional way, and I am more than happy to talk to you and work things out and find, solution or resolution to whatever the problem is. But I will not tolerate disrespectful emails or communication from you at any time. So if you are being disrespectful, I will send you to the Dean of Students, and I will do my best to make sure that you have something on your academic record that shows that you were sending disrespectful emails to your instructor. I take this very seriously. This has been an issue in the past, and it's not something I'm going to tolerate anymore at all. So moving on into your grades, for the course, for the course requirements, you will have 2 short essays, each one worth 150 points. You have, I think the first 2 weeks are a little bit kind of smushed together. You have one due 1 week, and I think one the next week, and then you have one long essay that's due at the end of the semester. So I think in total you'll probably have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like between 13 and 15 pages of writing for this semester. You're going to have 10 quizzes worth 15 points apiece. You'll have 10 blogs. You will have a documentary evaluation worth 40 points, and then you'll have discussion boards. You'll have 3 of them at 20 points apiece. So 65% of the course is based upon your writing. The rest of it is based upon just doing the work, right? The quizzes, those grades depend on whether you get the right or wrong answer. But the blogs, the documentary evaluation, and the discussion boards, you get credit just for doing them, right? So those are some easy points. Just get them done. The class is out of 1,000 points, and I do a plus-minus scale, so make sure you are aware of that. Late work policy and deadlines. I will not accept late work under any circumstances. Everything is due online. All of your due dates are already posted on Blackboard. The quizzes are already on Blackboard, ready to go. Everything is there. There is no excuse for late work. The only time I will take late work is if there's an emergency and you have contacted the Dean of Students, and the Dean of Students has contacted me to confirm this situation. Please keep in mind, too, that I will not accept technology malfunctions or dysfunctions, for that matter, as an excuse for late work. If your computer crashes, I'm really sorry, that sucks, but there are also maybe 200 of them in the library that you can use, right? There is no excuse. I understand that if you're in your apartment across town and your computer breaks and you have to come to the library to do your work, that's inconvenient. But that's just the way it is, right? My computer was just stolen when I was traveling in Oregon. Someone smashed the window out of my car and stole my laptop. So I don't have a laptop anymore, and it really sucks. But you know what I do? I come to my office every day to use my computer until I can get another one. So I do understand it's inconvenient. I'm dealing with it right now. I mean, you have to do the same. So if you tell me your computer is broken, that will not be an excuse for late work. The next few things on here is a breakdown of all your assignments. We'll talk about those as the assignments approach. So we'll move on to some other policy stuff. Extra credit. If I decide to offer extra credit within this semester, you may only receive up to 10 points, and that is if I decide to offer extra credit. Please don't beg me for extra credit. In fact, if you start begging me for extra credit, I'm not going to give any at all, right? Everyone wants free things. I want free money. It just doesn't work that way, right? I don't get to go up to people and be like, hey, can I have $5? And they just give it to me, right? And you don't get to come up to me and say, hey, can I have extra points? Absolutely not, right? So if I decide to offer extra credit, you may only receive up to 10 points of extra credit. Formatting. I want you to listen very carefully to this. Every assignment you turn in terms of formal assignments like your papers, must be in MLA format. That means they need to be in Times New Roman, 12-point font, double-spaced, with an appropriate heading and header. I will teach you all of this in class. It is in your syllabus. I'm saying it to you right now. You will see it on your syllabus that's on Blackboard. You will see the paper copy. I will tell you 1,000 times in class, it's going to be on your rubric. If it is not in MLA format, you will receive a 0 on the assignment. This is not me being a jerk, but this is me knowing that in the professional world, you have to follow directions and you have to pay attention to detail. There are 1,000 people applying for jobs. And I bet you 99% of them are following the directions and doing exactly what the forms say to do, right? Having only a 2-page cover letter, making sure that it's, in 10-point font or whatever, the requirements are. If you're the one person that messes up, you're the one person that's not getting the job, right? So it's really important that you start paying attention to directions and following the directions all the time. Paying attention to detail is one of the most important things you can do in college. So I have this policy to get you in the practice of following directions and paying attention to detail. Now, with that said, there are always a few people that forget to use MLA format and get upset that they get a 0 and start complaining. So please note that the syllabus says, by the first week of class, you have heard this policy via an online video and in person. And again, it's on your rubrics. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. This requirement is also listed on the rubric. Therefore, there is no excuse for not knowing this policy. If you forget to follow the policy, no amount of complaining to me or the department chair will work. Whether you like the policy or not, that's what the policy is. So you have to follow the policy. It's as simple as that. There will be no exceptions made for this. Also, in terms of formatting, all of your papers will be turned in electronically to my email. Everything is due by midnight of the due date, so 11:59 p.m. So let's say it's due on Monday. You have all day of Monday to get your work done. So it's due electronically in my email, and it must be in a .doc or a .docx format. Now, that's not me being picky. That's just me needing it in those formats to grade them, because I grade them electronically, and having it in a .doc or that's hard to say, .docx format allows me to give appropriate comments and feedback, and I can use all these different functions and stuff on Microsoft Word. So I will not accept anything in Pages, RTF, or WordPerfect. If you do not have Microsoft Word, the library does. You can also get it really cheap over at Binaries in the student union. If it is not in the right format, you will receive a 0 on the assignment. I don't have time to be, sending emails trying to get things in the right formats and stuff like that. It just needs to be done right the first time. A note about turnaround time. I will do my very best to get my papers back to you get your papers back to you as quickly as possible. Please keep in mind that if you ask me over and over and over again when I'm going to return your papers, that's really not helping me get them graded any faster. In fact, that's taking up more time and frustrating me. This is a summer semester. It's really short, so things are expedited, and I'm only teaching one class, so that does change the pace at which I can grade. So I wouldn't expect to wait too long. But my policy is I will always have your papers back to you before the next one is due. So that way you have enough time to get your feedback and apply that feedback to your next paper and so on. If for some reason that the graded papers are delayed, you will get 5 points of extra credit put onto your next paper, which would not count towards the other 10 points if I offered extra credit. But that doesn't happen very often. I think it's only happened once last semester when we had all those snow days and stuff. So just please be patient, and I will get your papers back to you as soon as I can. So there's some other things on here that I will talk about on the first day of class. Let's skip down to academic honesty. So that cheating is against the rules. It's very simple. You're a sophomore. You know that. You know that copying and pasting something is cheating. You know that buying something off the internet is cheating. You know that turning in a paper you wrote for another class is cheating. Having someone write the paper for you, whether it be a friend or a parent or a stranger or a frat brother or whatever, that's cheating. It's very simple. If I catch you cheating, you will fail the course, and I will report you to the dean of students. End of question. I won't ask you many questions about it. I'm just going to show you the proof that you've cheated, and that will be the end of it. If you cheat in my class, you will fail. The excuse that you did not know it's cheating is not true, right? Don't even waste your time cheating. You also have quizzes this semester on Blackboard. They will be taken at home, so I can't monitor if you've been sharing answers or anything like that. But if I find out that you are, you will fail the course too. Right? So it is in your best interest to do your own work. All of you pledged into the Academic Honor Code when you became a student at UNCW. I have seen students pledge into the Academic Honor Code. I pledged into it myself when I was a UNCW student. You know that cheating, plagiarism is against the rules. The last thing on the syllabus here is a common sense clause. So there are some things that I cannot enforce in terms of policy, but I think we do need to talk about as a class. So there's a list of stuff here, and I'm going to take a few minutes to read through these. I'm sorry, I know it's already been a 20-minute video, but this stuff needs to be covered. So here it says the syllabus is not exhaustive. You must use common sense when approaching all aspects of this course. Here's some things to think about. College was not designed to be easy. If it is easy, you're probably not trying hard enough. And when you get upset because maybe my class isn't easy, it's actually kind of offensive to me. I don't think it's fair of students to ask instructors to dumb down their subject to make it easy so you can pass and, not put forth as much effort. I spent 6 years of my life studying this stuff because it's important to me. And so if you're complaining that it's hard, that just means you want the easy way out. Right? The pathway of least resistance is not the best one to go down. If you want an A, then you have to work hard, and that means you have to work harder than the average student. The average student in America does not get an A. The average student in America is a B or a C student, right? So if you want an A, you got to work harder than everybody else. It's very simple. If you are unhappy with me or one of your classmates, you need to use common sense to assess the situation. Overly emotional reactions and anger do not help any situation. As I said earlier, it is okay to be upset and it is okay to be angry. We all have emotions. I get it. But it's how we handle them that matters, right? So make sure you're approaching any sort of emotional situation like an adult with professionalism, right? Take a time out if you need to. Take a deep breath before you react. It's not my responsibility to teach you how to use your computer. If you don't know how to use your computer, you can contact TAC over in the library. They're super helpful. You are responsible for keeping track of your own absences. I keep track of them for my records, but you need to keep track of them for yours, right? There's only 2 days that you can miss. So if you can't remember if you missed 2 days, you need to, work on that a little bit. You are responsible for keeping up with your work. I will not remind you of your due dates. I will not remind you that you are failing or something like that. You have to keep track of your own work. You are only entitled to the grade that you earn. It is not true that you start this class with a 100%. This class is kind of like earning some money, right? You start with an empty bank account. You come in with nothing, and then you start accumulating points, right? So this is about you producing quality work to earn an A. It's not about starting with an A and then me, dropping your grade or something like that. You get the grade that you earn. As a college student, you are responsible for your education. I can only lead you part way, right? I don't possess all the knowledge in the world. And in 16 days, I can't teach you everything you're ever going to need to know about composition studies, right? So it is up to you to make sure that you're getting the answers that you need. You have to ask questions. You have to make appointments to meet with me. You have to be the active participant in seeking help. I can't know that you need help unless you tell me you need help. I can only help you as much as you want. So if you find that you are struggling and you have lots of questions, you need to come find me. It's as simple as that. I cannot reach every single student and read everyone's minds all the time, but I can work with you if you come to me. If you want something, a certain grade, an extension, a letter of recommendation, you have to take the right steps to get it. In other words, you, again, are the active participant in getting what you want. That means being a good student, being respectful, and setting a realistic plan to get what you want. So if you want an A in this course, your plan better be to work and work hard. Nothing in this class or in life is free. You got to work. Simple as that. There are consequences for not following the policies on this syllabus. Yes, you paid for the class, but by paying for this class, you agree to abide by all the policies on the syllabus, right? This is not necessarily a business negotiation. You're not the customer who gets to tell the instructor what to do. You are the student who paid for the course to then learn not just the material, but also how to follow the directions of the course too. On the last page, your attitude is your reality. So if you approach the class with the attitude that it's going to suck, it is. Simple as that. If you come in and say, I hate English, my teacher is going to suck, she was so scary on that video, she's a terrible human being, it's going to be a pretty miserable experience. But if you come into the class with a bit of humility and say, not a huge English fan. Not even sure I'm going to like the course, but I'm going to try to do as best I can. I'm going to ask questions when I have them. I'm, going to work as hard as I can, and I'm going to earn the grade that I deserve. You'll probably find it's a pretty good experience. Maybe not your favorite, right? I'm not expecting all of you to love composition. None of you have to, if that's the case, but it doesn't have to be miserable. The only person that's going to make it miserable, though, is you. And then also, last but not least, remember that every college class and every professor is different. Just because your biology professor has a set of policies that are different than mine, or teaches a different way, or gets, assignments back to you in a different amount of time or something, doesn't mean that's the way my class rolls, right? So all of your classes and all of your professors are very different, and they should be treated as such. So just make sure that you are allotting, or giving yourself some flexibility for that. And then the very final thing here is that I do reserve the right to make changes on the syllabus at any time, and also in the schedule. However, I never make changes without consulting you first. Usually what I do is give you some options, and as a class, you can decide what you want to do. So I won't make changes without telling you. So that is that. I will go over this syllabus the first day of class 2. Just one last note that's not on the syllabus. So word on the street is Miss Warfield's a hard teacher, whatever. To some extent that is true, but I think you'll find that I'm fair. I have never failed a student who did his or her work. Now, they may not have gotten an A, right, but they definitely didn't fail. The only failures, the only Fs that I ever give in the class are to people who don't do the work. So I'm definitely fair. Maybe not the easiest, but again, it's college. It's not really made to be easy. If you had an A in AP English, that's super awesome. I'm super proud of you, but it's not AP English anymore. If you got an A in English 101, that's awesome too. It's probably going to help you in this class, but it's not English 101 anymore, right? I got up in the ante. You're supposed to, improve, and you're supposed to work harder as you continue through college. It's not AP English, and it's not English 101, right? So again, it doesn't have to be miserable. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, actually. I have a ton of energy, as you can probably tell, because I haven't been able to sit still in this whole video. We can have a lot of fun, but you have to do the work. We will have a TA this semester to work with us too, and I think that's going to be awesome to have an extra set of hands in the room. She's awesome. So we'll have a good time. Get ready to work. It's 16 days, and I'll see you in the first day of class. Have a great weekend.